Good morning and welcome to the very first video update of Wemblesden Park. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the audio unit that I've been building over the past few weeks for the layout. This unit is being built into the enclosure that used to be a tape deck unit, and the idea is that this box will eventually sit under the layout and will contain the MP3 players and the power supplies and amplifiers needed to generate the soundtrack. The sounds themselves are being played from these little MP3 players that can be obtained off eBay for about £2.50 each. Here's one of the players that's been modified, ready to be fitted. As you can see, there's two wires here. They are for the power, and the thicker cable is a stereo screened lead for the sound. So basically all I've done to this is taken the battery out and remove the headphone jack. The batteries themselves are these little things. These are 3.7 volt lithium batteries, which would only probably run the player for about an hour. A word of note with these that I've found is that if the voltage drops below 3.4, they tend to either switch off or pause, so you really need a power supply. To get around the problem, I've built one. After being playing around for the past few days over the bank holiday weekend, I've come up with this. So over here, this circuit board is what remains of the original circuit board from the tape deck unit. This bit just happened to have the power supply unit on it. I've picked up 15 volts DC off the power supply unit. This feeds down into a load of 5 volt voltage regulators. So these are 7805 regulator chips. On the plus out and the ground, I've fitted a diode on each of the legs. This helps to drop the voltage further, and also it stops the digital interference from the players getting back into the other players and causing problems with the sound. It would be easier if I could show you the fault, but I won't go there. Returning back again to the front panel, as you can see, there's spaces here for the other players that haven't fitted yet. This unit here is playing the sounds for the bus station. Oops, it's not screwed in yet. This unit here is playing the street sounds and the underground. This unit over here will play the soundtrack for the North Circular Road. There'll be a unit coming today, hopefully, that will fit here. That will play the soundtrack for the school, the housing estate and the depot. And over here, the silver one that I've just shown you will actually have music on it. And the intention is that I'm going to record myself playing the guitar for the busker. And also I intend putting a very muffled 80s soundtrack on, which will play through a speaker under the pub. Also under here is a USB socket. This came off an old PC. This is wired up to the 5 volt supply and will give us USB charging points for mobile phones and cameras at the show. If I move round to the other side, over here we have the power amplifiers. These were just built from scrap parts. The circuit boards are £2.50 from eBay. Everything else was salvaged out of old car stereos. These chips vary between 35 to 45 watts per channel, depending on the unit they came out of, but they're all pretty similar. And each one contains 4 amplifiers, so there's 4 identical sets of components. So in this unit I've got, you can see 1, 2, 3, so that gives me 12 speakers on the layout. The sounds come from over here, from the MP3 players. They come down here onto these boards where I've mounted these trimmer pots. And if I turn the screwdriver, I can turn the sounds up and down. She gets annoying after a bit. This one here is the other end of the street. Turn that one down. This one should have a Leyland National on it. I was wrong, that's a Metro bus. That's got a Leyland National on it. So all the sounds can be individually adjusted. So the idea is that once it's built, all of the sounds will be preset, so we don't annoy anybody when we take it to a show. On the back of the unit, I'm fitting 2 sets of D plugs. The bottom ones will carry all of the speaker cables up to the layout. The top one will be for the inputs for the other sound modules, which I'll show you in a minute. The only other alterations is this big unit here, which come out of an old computer. So I had to cut a big hole out the back for the fan. This unit here will provide 3.3, 5 volts and 12 volts. The original intention was that the 3.3 volts would drive the MP3 players, but as I said, I had lots of problems with the sounds. I'm just going to turn that bus down, that's it. I had problems with the sounds, so hence I came up with a new power supply. Okay, over here, this is a slightly different MP3 player. This is a standalone board. Again, you put your little memory cards into this slot and it will play it from the slot. This one contains a little amplifier, a little 2-watt amplifier. It will drive a little speaker, if I can just grab it. Maybe he's not. Oh no, here we go. There's the speaker. This is going to be glued under the washing plant. And the idea with this one is that this is going to be wired through some relays, so that when the washing plant starts up, this will kick in and it will give the effect of the water. To produce the sound files, I use a program called Cubase. This is what I normally use for recording my music with, but it's also quite handy for doing soundtracks for model railways. Over here you can see all the various different sound files. They were all MP3s that were downloaded, and you basically just edit them, cut them, chop them up, move them about where you want. So at the moment this top one's playing, which is the street scene. If I shut that track up and select this one, as you can hear, that's a Leyland National ticking over. If you have a look over here, this is the sound of the bus, and if I move these, I can make the bus go over there, or I can make the bus go over there. So it's just getting in your head roughly how to set the sounds up and where you want them when you come to mixing. There's a few other sounds on here. Mute that one. We've got, it's another National playing. Down here, I think it's a Metro bus. It's another Metro bus. Come a bit further down, got some street noise. For the speakers on the layout, I'm making use of these little speaker units that came out of redundant flat screen monitors that I had lying about. There's various different types mounted under the layout. There's not a lot of room to move in here. There's one speaker that's actually under the Metro bus, but it's playing the National at the front. The other speaker is mounted under the back of that National. There's one up here, just about reach. This one's to be mounted under the layout yet, when I decide what scenery is going up there. There's going to be one under the pub, and there's one mounted at the bottom of the steps. So when you're viewing the layout from the front, can't quite get my hand in. When you're viewing the layout from the front like that, you should get the idea of the sound being bounced back off the buildings, which is quite effective when she does the station announcing. Down here, where I've got the little busker, you can just about make out a couple of holes where his feet are. There's a speaker under there which will have a guitar played through, and if we come down here, have a look under the boards. That's the bottom of the stairs. You can see the speaker is bouncing the sound up the staircase. If I can get in there, that's the one for the busker. Moving down to the other end of the layout, sound wise, there's going to be a speaker under the washing plant, and then there'll be a speaker somewhere in the depot. What it's going to play I'm not quite sure yet at the moment. Over here we've got the North Circular, so the plan is to have a speaker at each end which will be playing a stereo soundtrack of cars going backwards and forwards. The one at the far end will probably be over there in the lay-by with the bus, because it'd be quite handy just to put the speaker underneath the back of the bus. Coming around to here, the other speaker, I'm not quite sure where to fit it at the moment. I might fit it under the green Leyland bus there, or even the Route Master on the end, and again they will just play sounds for the school. And also at the back, can't quite get in there. Oh, got to clean the rubbish out of the garage. We've got the little housing estate at the back, so I could actually maybe mount the speaker up there and have some sounds of the guy working on the car, just general background sounds. This is the side that you don't normally see. This is the back of the school. Just a quick spin around. This is the storage areas. This is where all the trains sit, and I'll cover this more in future updates. But for now, please like, subscribe and share this channel. Keep tuned for further updates as we take more behind the scenes look at Wemblesden Park. Thank you for watching.